Welcome to the journey where we talk to parents of athletes on how they got their kids to where they are. I'm here with the Smiths. I had the pleasure of playing on a team list named after y'all's daughter, so I'm excited to hear about y'all's journey. First things first, when did you fall in love with basketball?
I fell in love with basketball at an early age because I played. It was more, I'm from Washington, D.C., so the journey that I had was, I wanted to get away. And, my parents told me, if you wanted to go to college, you better be good at something, And so I took basketball. I leaned towards basketball. I played football. I tried, all the sports, but I gravitated more towards basketball. And then I knew once I got word from other people that, I was pretty decent at it, then I said, okay, well, I'm gonna give it a shot, and wound up getting a basketball scholarship. But yeah, that's when I knew that you can get a free education and you can make money playing basketball. That's when I fell in love with it.
It took me a lot longer to fall in love with basketball. I tried to play when I was in middle school. Ball hit me in the mouth and I was done after that. So I was like, I'm no longer playing basketball. So it took me a lot longer, but I did have an uncle that played for the University of St. Mary's. And so I used to love going to go watch him play when I was younger. And then I also had a brother that played, little brother that played high school basketball. And so he also played, and that's what presented me to basketball as well. I really fell in love with it when I met my husband. He played at UTSA, and that's where I met him at UTSA, and just love watching him play basketball.
So tell me more about your kids.
Oh, you want me?
I always say you start.
My kids, they're amazing. Ever since they were born, as a parent and as a dad, I always felt like my kids would be superstars, and the journey that we led them on, we allowed them to take that path if they wanted to. If they didn't want to, then so be it. But they had the same work ethic as we have, determination, grit, so when I saw it at a young age and basically them two going against each other, playing against each other in the garage, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna see how this is gonna pan out.
And with me, with my son, he was shorter, when I had Liz was 11 pounds when I had her. So I said, she has to play something. If it's not gonna be volleyball, it's gonna be basketball, it's gonna be track. So she has to play something with her being that big and tall when she was younger. Both of my kids, even though I did not play basketball, I played softball, I ran track, I played AAU, ran AAU track and stuff. So we've been always in sports, and we just knew that our kids was gonna play sports. Both of them are so competitive. Our whole entire family is competitive. We go bowling, you best believe we're gonna be there for hours until I win, So yeah, so our whole entire family is very competitive at everything we do. Checkers, like literally you name it. The thing about it, I wanted my kids to be their own person. My son didn't always start off in sports. He was in theater arts. He wanted to do theater arts and he wanted to do drama and everything. And so I told them to just do what they wanted to do. Whether they wanted to play band, be in the band, whether they wanted to do theater arts, drama, be what you want to be, do what you want to do. I never put my kids in a box and told them that they had to play sports. Mm-hmm.
So what did it look like for your kids in elementary school with sports and their grades and everything?
In elementary school, they kind of stood out. Well, definitely NaLyssa stood out because she was a tall girl, and so, I'm not saying it was tough on her, but being that she was so tall, everybody looks at her like, ooh, at that young age, and it was okay for her. Not really bad as far as that attention, but it kind of worked out for her. And my son, he's so vocal and he likes to talk a lot, so it wasn't really bad for him. With Lyssa, she's kind of to herself and not talk a lot, but my son's very vocal and very outgoing, so it wasn't really bad for him.
And education-wise, my son, he used to finish early in class. And I used to think, oh my God, like, what is he doing? He would finish early and the teachers would say he'd get up and walk around. Well, long story short, I had him tested and he was a genius. He never, ever received a C in school. He AB honor roll in this, all A's in elementary school. He never received a B in elementary school. NaLyssa had to be pushed. You know, not that she was not just as smart as my son, but she had to be pushed. We had to challenge her and everything. It was kind of good having my son first, you know, because he was able to guide NaLyssa. My son's name is Rodney. We call him Dion for short because he's after my husband, Rodney DeAndre Smith. He's the second, but we call him Dion. But he was very smart in school, very educated, honor roll, everything, and he also played sports. So he had to balance. Education always came first. No matter what sport that either one of them wanted to play, it wasn't no D's, get degrees in my house. It was we're gonna do our work. I did not graduate. I did not go to college. I went to community college, but I didn't go to college. So I wanted to do something different in my children's lives that my parents didn't do for me. Not saying my parents weren't good parents, but I wanted to make sure that they took a different path in education and athletics as well. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make sure whatever and stuff that they did go to school, they did graduate, and they did go to college. So I wanted to start it early in elementary.
Everyone talks about trust the process. What did it look like when starting your kids in sports?
Both of them started early. My son started when he was 3 with soccer. So soccer was his path, mm-hmm. you know, so they played literally every sport. You're starting in elementary school, they played like literally softball. I put my son in gymnastics and I almost got cursed out by him because he was like, my son ain't gonna be in no tutu, okay? So he went to one practice and after that one practice he was like, we're gonna do something else.
You're doing flips, it's gonna be on the soccer field.
So yeah, so he started in gymnastics and everything because I was so eager to put them in sports and put them in something. So I wanted to make sure that they took the right path and everything on playing sports and being educated and doing everything that they can and wanted to do.
And like she said, we put them in everything and we let them play whatever they wanted to play, except the gymnastics part. I wasn't letting that happen. But yeah, we let them test the waters and whatever they gravitated towards, that's where we're like, okay, well, if this is what you want to do, we're going to have to focus on it. You know, if you want to be really successful in this and not just play around with it, then we're going to pick that sport and we're going to focus on it. We're going to get it done.
Would you consider yourselves helicopter parents?
To an extent. I was the one, again, I wanted to make sure that they took a different path in school. So I was the one that checked all, you know, let me back up. As Black parents, I wanted to be a different Black parent. I wanted to make sure that we joined, back in my day it was called PTA, I think it's PTO now. But I wanted to make sure that we were involved with Meet the Teacher Night. I wanted to make sure we were involved with, you know, the first thing I did was I told the teachers, you call, text me about anything. I want to hear the good, I want to hear the bad, I want to hear the ugly, you know, because I knew my children. If you said that my son started a fight, that's not my child. I know my child. If you said my son was getting up and disrupting class, oh, that's him. You know, with NaLyssa, whatever stuff, you couldn't tell me, okay, NaLyssa started a fight, that's not her. You know, but if she was arguing and pouting with the teacher, that's her. I knew my kids and everything. So as far as being a helicopter parent, we were relaxed with a lot of things, but we also wanted to make sure whatever that they did what they had to do, whether it's athletics, whether it was education, whether it was being respectful to people. That's one thing we just instilled in them. You're not gonna be disrespectful to anybody. We used to make them volunteer at nursing homes and everything, just to make sure that they were helping other people other than their friends and everybody around them.
Were your kids naturally good at sports whenever they started, or was it a process?
I don't know, they were naturally good. That competitiveness was, like my son played golf and my dad played golf. He used to caddy with, you probably don't know, his name is Chicho Rodriguez. Chichi Rodriguez. So he used to caddy with him. So my dad instilled golf into my son as well. So they tried literally every sport, soccer, track, everything and stuff. But because of their competitiveness, my son was trying to make sure that he held his own with soccer, because being few black playing soccer, he wanted to make sure that he stood out and did what he had to do. But because Lyssa watched him do this, she was just as competitive as him. So they wanted to make sure that they dominated in almost every sport.
Mm-hmm. And locally, when I played pickup ball or city league games, I would bring them with me. Before halftime or at halftime, they would go out there and shoot around and play around, run around the gym, just like, typical kids. So sports were, they were around sports all the time. And again, we didn't force it to, most of the time they were asking me, can I go with you, Dad? Can I go with you? And I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's go. If you wanna go hang out and, have fun, let's go.
Did you start your kids in sports with any specific goals in mind for them?
I started them off basically I told them at the beginning, if you're gonna play, be the best at it. Don't just play the sport to be playing the sport, just to, be a typical kid to have a little fun with it. Of course I tell them have fun, but I'm telling them be the best when you're having your fun, give it your all and let's see where it takes you.
Early on, did y'all care about winning and losing?
In the beginning,
I mean, I know y'all said y'all were a competitive family,
yeah.
So be honest.
In the beginning, well, when I say in the beginning, they both started like CYO basketball, so at that age it's more like, I want you to make your layup. So, work on your jump shot and, dribble with your left hand. And so it wasn't 100%, I want you to go out and I want you to kill or crush it. But at the same time, when they were playing against another team, I was like, come on now, y'all got to win this game, So, yeah, in a sense, it was like play, have fun, do what you do, but hey, go ahead and crush that girl while you're out there.
Not me. I was like, no, we don't get no 5th and 6th place. We ain't getting them ribbons. We got to have 1st, 2nd, or 3rd or whatever stuff. Just wanted them to be the best that they can be. Even with Lyssa, when she started off, because I played softball, I wanted to be a switch hitter. So I was always teaching Lyssa, you're going to hit bat with your right and you're also going to bat with your left. Just trying to challenge them all the time, and no matter what sports they play. Even when my son played golf or whatever and stuff, he would challenge them to see how far he can hit the ball and everything. Everything was a challenge, and stuff. But if they did, not come home with a winning, ribbon or trophy or anything like that or whatever, it wasn't the end of the world. But it's just like, you're going to train to compete. You're going to train to compete.
If you could tell the parents of elementary school students one thing, what would it be?
Don't force your kids to do something they don't want to do. I mean, just because you love basketball and you want your kids to succeed and play basketball, don't force them to play basketball. If they don't want to do it, then let them go, do what they want to do as far as another sport or another event or something. Just don't put that pressure on them. One thing I did, just because I played basketball, I didn't put pressure on them and say, you got to be a basketball player. I just kept them around basketball, and if you wanted to gravitate towards that, then cool, but I'll never force it on them. And that's one thing a lot of my friends ask, well, what did you do? I didn't do nothing. I just gave them the opportunity and presented it to them. If they wanted to go that route, they did. If not, then so be it.
And I would say, let your kid be a kid. It's too many parents, I think, out there that's trying to force their child to play basketball because they play basketball, play football and everything. And the main thing what I don't like as elementary, I'm gonna say as Black parents, we try to put our kids in boxes. they're gonna play basketball, they're gonna play football. No, let the kid play whatever they wanna play. If they wanna be a rapper and they can be successful in being a rapper, let them rap. If they wanna be in band, let them do what they want to do. And I always tell my niece and nephew, do what makes you feel good. You know, do what makes you feel happy. Don't do it because your parents want you to do it or anything like that. So as far as parents, let your kid be a kid. Let them grow up. The world is already too hard and you're struggling and everything else. Let them be happy, you know, because you grow up fast.
Thank you for watching The Journey. Stay tuned for the next episode where we talk about middle school.